Hello, everyone. It's so funny to be sitting here so quietly and knitting.
It's funny to see Darlie knit. He's so clumsy.
What's so funny? I'm faster than everyone. I've managed to knit most of these squares.
Oh, no, you haven't.
Not quite, but he has been fast, though.
Hey, what's going on, huh? Why are they talking about Darlie knitting? Are boys not supposed to knit? Huh? Is it only girls? Oh dear. Oh, then I've been doing the wrong thing because I've just bought some wool and needles to make my mom a scarf. What?
How big are you going to make the blankets, Andrew?
That's what I was going to ask you, Ma Gloria. How big are the squares?
Well, let's have a look. I'll just use a measuring tape here. Okay, we've got our square here. Let's see. Other side. It looks like the sides of the square are 15 centimeters each.
How many squares are we going to be able to knit from this wool?
I'm getting 5 squares from each wall of wool.
And we bought 90 balls of wool from the money we made from the cupcakes.
Andrew, would you write this on the board for us, please? So, there are 90 balls of wool. And how many squares did you say we get from each ball, Nonhlanhla?
5 squares.
Okay, so that's 90 times 5, which is?
Okay, 90 times 5 is... So, we'll be able to knit from all of this wool 450 squares.
450 squares. Now let's look at the size of the blanket. Andrew, would you draw the blanket for us on the board? Now, how many centimeters are the sides of the squares?
15 centimeters.
And how big should the blankets be?
Well, why don't we choose a number that 15 goes into exactly?
Good idea, Grace. Andrew, would you draw us a few lines down from the top? Okay. Now, each of those gaps there, just show us, Andrew, is 15 centimeters. Now, how big is the other side of the square?
Well, it's a square, so it's 15 centimeters.
That's true. Now, Andrew, would you draw us a few horizontal lines? Now, Andrew, do you see those squares there? Now, each of those represents a square that you've knitted. Right. Now, all that we've got left to do is to decide how many. Wait, Grace is right. We can only really do this if it's a measurement that 15 centimeters will go into.
How about 5 times 15 centimeters?
That's 75 centimeters. That's not very big for a blanket.
Why don't you show us on the tape, Darlie?
So it's going to be this big by this big. Too small for a blanket.
Okay, well, how about 10 times 15, which is 150 centimeters?
Now, how did you know that, Grace?
Well, remember, whenever you times something by 10, you just add on a 0.
And also, Andrew suggested 5, which is 75 centimeters. And 10 is just double that number, so it's 150 centimeters.
Ma Gloria, please can you hold this for me?
Of course I will.
So, it will be this big by this big.
Let me help
But
you.
Ma Gloria, the tape only says 149 centimeters.
That's all right. There's just a little bit left over there. Well, the This looks like a good size. Also, if you make it any bigger, you might run out of wool, or you might end up having to make one blanket only.
Yeah. That's true. So if we make it 150 centimeters by 150 centimeters, how many balls will each blanket use?
Well, if you want to find out how many you need, you take the number across the top and you multiply it by the number across the side.
Well, they're both 10.
So it's 10 times 10, which is...
100.
Right! So each blanket takes up 100 squares. Now, how many squares did we say are in each ball?
5. So if we divide 100 squares by 5, then we'll know how many balls of wool each blanket will need.
And that's 20 balls.
And we bought 19.
So how many blankets can we make?
20, 40, 60, 84. 4 times 20 is 80.
Oh dear, what are we going to do with the last 10?
We can make a smaller blanket, maybe for a child.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So we're going to make 4 big blankets and 1 for a child.
That sounds like a really good idea, Dali.
Yeah.
Mervin,
Yes, Marvin.
you know that blue jersey you don't wear?
Yes, what about it?
Well, can I have it?
What are you going to do with it?
Well, I was thinking of giving it away to the needy.
Giving it away to the needy? Wow, Marvin. I've never known you to be charitable before.
Well, you see, you always underestimate me.
Oh, maybe I do. So who are you going to give the jersey to?
To the needy.
Which needy in particular?
The most needy, Mervin.
And that would be?
Well, the hyenas said they needed
Aha! I knew those hyenas had something to do with this.
They're going to use it to make a rock for their lounge.
I might have known it. I am going.
And where are you going?
Going to put my jersey on.
4.5 blankets seems like such a little when you think of what we've done.
No, I really don't think so. That's 5 people you've made warmer. Besides, look at what you've learned on this project. We learned how to estimate. We learned how to skip count, remember? 5, 10, 50. And you organized the buying and the baking of the ingredients to make 240 cupcakes. That's a lot of cupcakes. And here all of you are now sitting, knitting and sewing to help other people. I'd say that's well done. Believe me.
Mark Gloria's right. And it was worth it all just to see Dali knitting.
To knit, you need needles and lots of wool and also some skill. To knit, you need to know how to play and purl and also have some will. Just think of what you can knit: a scarf, a jersey, and a hat. It's cool when you think of it, what you can do with all that. Knit, purl, play, turn the needle around. Knit, purl, play, and look what you found. You're knitting. You're knitting. You're knitting.
Hey, what's going on, huh? Why are they talking about Dali knitting? Are boys not supposed to knit? Huh? Is it only girls? Oh dear. Oh, then I've been doing the wrong thing because I've just bought some wool and needles to make my mom a scarf. What? Phew.
Perhaps you should think of a project too. Bye for now. Bye.
To knit, you need needles and lots of wool and also some skill. To knit, you knit.